Thank you for watching here on YouTube Live at Blooming Light. Happy Saturday night. This is a check-in. A check-in, an update. My son and I are okay. But I believe the title you all see there, I think it says hashtag criminals, hashtag FBI. So listen, this is what I want to share about something I've noticed in my own life along the way, especially as once I discovered that I was a targeted individual. Of course, along with my own personal background. Okay, so most people don't really know, especially folks where my son is located, the state he's in now, but they don't know my real history, my background, and all that good old stuff. But all of that and combined, observation, this is what I've learned. When you're dealing with criminal enterprises, on a higher scale, as it pertains to if it's organization, not individual based, but businesses, groups, whatever you want to call it. These are some of the tactics. Now, listen, targeted individuals are known in their bloodlines or their family units. They're known as the scapegoat, right? Those who do their research and know about that stuff, they're known as the scapegoat. So in other words, everything is put onto them. People blame everything. It's a lot of heavy projection, okay? And they call it scapegoating. Now, in other words, they pile all their shit on you and they let you take the fall, okay, for a lot of things. Some that has absolutely nothing to do with you. That's not your fault. That's everything to do with them. Scapegoating. Now, on an organizational scale, as it pertains to business, enterprises, or groups, here is how that plays out. So let's say there's a criminal enterprise, but no one knows that it's a criminal enterprise because it's a business, it's an organization, okay? And its function in society is seeming to be normal. They have programs for, income and all of these various government types of things. And so it's serving the community, right? Or even if it's not government based, let's just say whatever it is, it's in its function, it's a business, it's an organization. And for all intensive purposes, face value is upstanding. And in some ways, they definitely they comply in some way, right? However, now let's bring in the element of a targeted individual. You know how they say through politics, what they start to do is try to deter you? They try to get, you know, the world to focus on all other things while something bigger is going on in the background that they don't want you looking at. They don't want you paying attention to. And so they have all this, and we're looking all over the place. In other words, a form of scapegoating, a form of a distraction to get you, your eyes, your attention, and focus off of. Criminal enterprises are the same. So they'll choose a scapegoat that they will attempt to set up, or they'll attempt to find some kind of minor something, anything to bring all of the attention and the focus onto the target. Meanwhile, they're a whole fucking criminal organization in the background with major violations going on. And the reason this is done is for different reasons. There's offers made. People put offers on the table for money to try to take what the scapegoat actually has, right? What's theirs, what belongs to them, and so forth. And then, so to use them as, right? So as you all are seeing everything in hindsight, I'm sure everything is unraveling for you all. you've discovered that, that's a tactic. That's an actual strategy. The old bait and switch, the old, find something. Meanwhile, we know full well what's going on. And listen, as you observe your different situations and your environments, you're going to notice some things for yourself too. I have a whole lot. So with those observations, I'm like, I've also noticed that the people, the very ones that are involved in playing like hall monitors and, I call them makeshift, homeowners association neighborhood watch, the very ones that are doing that, not all of them, okay, just to be fair, but most, they're a part of the criminal enterprise themselves. Like they're a part of, and let me explain what I mean. They have some kind of involvement with something. They, there was a deal. There was some kind of deal made. Otherwise, they wouldn't be worried about it, would they? Unless, follow me. Why else are they concerned? See, you all are going to have to start asking those questions to yourself. Why else are they concerned? Especially people that you have absolutely nothing to do with. Okay? You have, I mean, literally absolutely nothing to do with. You don't have a friendship. You're not exchanging, nothing at all. You don't bother them. So what is there and why? What is that about? Because you're the scapegoat. And some of these people are concerned. The ones that have been involved and they know that they were involved. So as stuff is unfolding, so they're trying to see what you know, see where you're going, so that they can go in the house and go alert whoever, so the person in the house can go and call whoever, and so forth and so on. Okay? The other ones that may not necessarily be involved, they may just have a vested negative interest. You know how you always got those far few in between people that's just downright just plain nosy. Okay? And, in some cases, racist, prejudiced, ageist, sexist, discriminatory in some way. Um, Religious zealots. People have their own things that drive them. Okay? On top of, possible other mental, other things that's neither here nor there. But because there are people just like that, let's keep it on the real, especially small towns. Okay? But now look, now here's something else I've observed about those things too. When you pay closer attention, you're gonna notice that even the nosy people, when it comes to the real criminals, they ass in the house, honey. They ain't looking, they ain't saying nothing. They ass is in the house, and they said that when it comes to, like, you know what I'm saying, some of the real stuff that we be seeing go on zones, like the real legit criminal shit. Okay? In other words, druggies, users, dealers, sellers, you know, thugatronic activity, you know what I mean? What you'll notice is those very same highfalutin, nosy people ain't paying that no attention at all. They're not observing that. Why is that? See, I began to ask these questions internally as I started watching the watchers. Why is that? Because if, when there's an organization, a group, or a community trying to rally or proclaim, you know, justice or rightness or law or, you know what I'm saying, concern, all those things, then that means this. Those other activities would be on the radar. It'll be something that's of high alert. It'll be something that they're equally concerned about, equally paying attention to, and equally trying to monitor and play hall monitor for. But they're not trying to play hall monitor for that, are they? See, when it comes to those things, that's when you'll hear the statement from these various people, it's none of my business what people do in their, in their recreational, in the privacy of their home. It's none of my business. That's when you'll hear them make those types of statements. Oh, I'm learning a lot. And this is why I share it with the community of you out there that's on a similar path and you have discovered the real behind all the illusionary bullshit and what's been going on. There's things I've noticed. I'm not going to share every detail, but I'm always paying attention. I'm always paying attention. Like I said a while ago, I'm watching the watchers. And every day, they reveal themselves to me every single day. And I smile, and it's noted. Now, here's another pattern. So as you all are collecting data, as I've been telling you all, I highly recommend, because again, things are going to have to be done on an official scale. Okay? So keep track of all that stuff, but pay attention to the patterns so you can also note that in the claims and things that you're going to be presenting. Okay? So for an example, I think I gave you all a screenshot yesterday of all of the harassing phone calls. I screenshotted it, I put it up of all, and it was all the numbers, from the 409s, all, you all saw it. And that was just the tip of the iceberg. This is daily. They do not leave a message. They do not, text. They don't do none of that. Okay? And so, like, what's up with that? A call here and there, okay, I would nod and say, it's a fluke, it's spam, it's this, it's that, and so forth, right? Nah, these are patterns. This has been going on. This has been harassment. So now, what I'm also noticing is this. Most of the patterns happen when I go live, or it's like there's like the cycle to it. And if I don't go live or upload a video or go live for a while, or like a long period of time, then there's a drop, a decline. So as soon as I get off of this, I'm going to check my phone and see if I got a missed call. Because I'm going to present that as well. Because again, it is this undertone and this underlining energy of, if I'm going to attack you and harass you and this and that and thus and thou, if you keep going live, if you keep doing these videos, why are people concerned about me? See, again, I ask these questions. I've started to learn, okay, why are people concerned about that if they don't, their hands ain't dirty? Why are people worried about that if their hands aren't dirty? Because see, it's not about, people don't gotta like me. I'm not here to be liked. I'm a grown person and I can discuss and say what the hell I want. They don't have to like what I teach. They don't have to like what I believe. And they don't have to like what I stand for. But at the end of the day, if the things that I share in terms of stuff that is happening to me and some of the collective out there, if their hands aren't dirty at all, what are they worried about? What is to be found out from, just ask that question. What is to be found out if there's nothing to be found out? There's nothing to be found out. I'm just, for shits and giggles, I'm just playing with it. There's nothing to be found out. So then what is there to be upset about? What is there to be concerned about? What is the hypervigilance and the hyper focus and the need to stalk someone's social media, waiting to see where they're at, what they're saying? There's nothing to be found out. Everyone's innocent. There's no foul play. Everybody minding their business. Everybody happy, healthy, and healed, and all that stuff in their respective lives. Makes you go, don't it? That's another giveaway, though. It's a big one. It's a giveaway. It's a tell. In some of y'all's cases, people are just, trying to compete, or they're trying to see what you're doing today that they can steal, or, there are different reasons. But, all of the patterns, like the ones that I've picked up so far, different people following around in cars and parking. And then if I go in a certain direction, then the next thing I know, they go, like, yeah, I catch it all, baby. I catch it all, baby. I catch it all. You know, people sitting in their cars, that's fine. But I pay attention to the patterns, because I used to hang out in cars and stuff, so I get that. People do that, but I pay attention to a pattern, and I pay attention to whatever it is, and if it's me, I'll find it. I'll discover it if that's what they're doing. I'll discover it because they'll sit somewhere for a while, and then I'll have my movement, and then when I go in a certain direction, and they think I'm going in that direction, the next thing you know, and voila, I see that very same vehicle come out. Some people, you'll notice the pattern. If you come out, again, people sit in their cars, people sit on their patios, people sit on their balconies. Those are things that are normal and fine. Just got to sink into the patterns. For an example, let me give another example. Okay, so since I'm a social media content creator, one of the things that I've been able to incorporate is, okay, most of the time there's a notification for anybody that's been watching you. Okay, whether you know that they're watching you or not, whether you know that they're subscribed to you or not. Okay, so they get an alert or a ding. And so as they're getting an alert or a ding, it's letting them know, okay, this person's about to go live, right? So some of the things I've started to do, and maybe I'm helping some of you content creators, you may already know this, and you're a targeted individual, and you know that the people around you are a part of your cyber stalkers. So just watch what happens if you're in the vicinity of the area as you're about to go live. When that notice go out, you'll see people come out of their houses. You'll see either people get in their cars, you'll see people come on their balconies and patios, and it'll seem almost like it was in sync. And as you are out there, if they can visibly see you, they're going to kind of stand there and watch and see what you're doing for a minute. Then they're going to go in the house and tell whoever in the house, right? And then as you move, they'll stand for a while and then they move. But see, that's how you can use your social media as well. Since people are stalking you, since you know that's what they're doing, they're cyber stalking you on your social media. Play with that every so often. Mix it up and just see what movement and activity you start to get as soon as you go live. I used to hear it even when I was inside my son's unit, even indoors. Like I would go live, and all of a sudden it seems like, because there's like a ding alert that he has every time there's any kind of movement or activity, right? So I would see that even with the indoors. I would go live, and then all of a sudden it was ding, 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 ding. It's like I would be live to him, like, okay, now everybody got to go to the bathroom. Everybody got to go walk the dog 4 times. I got to take out the trash 6 times, bitch. Everybody got to go get some shit out the trunk. All of a sudden, because what's sad is sometimes people send their children, you know, go on there, down there, take out the trash. Tell me if you see that lady. I'm serious. That's how shit is. But the weightier matter as far as I'm concerned is, why are they concerned about me? It cannot be. I'm not swallowing that. I'm not buying the bullshit people trying to push. Why are they concerned about me when they're not concerned about the crackheads living downstairs, the druggies, the alcoholics? Because, see, remember, those are the same people I told y'all downstairs for my son. Same people that had a bitch come up the stairs and was trying to open my door and shit. And then they're like, oh, she didn't know where she was going. And come to find out, the girl, the lady downstairs that tried to open my son's door, okay, the person on the other side of my son. What's that about? See, it's all starting to look weird, really, really suspicious. Again, I really feel like people thought my son was going to be an easy target. They thought that I was going to be, and they thought this was going to be the perfect setup. But I've been paying attention to all that shit. I'm like, So downstairs, my father's downstairs open, yeah. And they ain't worried about that. And one time they had a whole, you know what I'm saying? Act like she delirious and shit. She didn't know what door. You thought it was the other door, so you don't, really? All of a sudden, there's been a lot of activity. Cars coming most every night. Certain vehicles right downstairs, right up under my son, and right across downstairs from my son. hmm Criminal activity. But these types of, people want to hook up. And when it's some criminality there, enterprise, you know, you get people to do shit for you. And in exchange, you know, if your rent late or your bill late, they'll turn a blind eye. In exchange, shave a few bucks off of something and pin it on to someone else, pin it on to the target and reallocate it. Y'all think I don't know about that kind of shit? A targeted individual. This is how they're utilized. We're gonna trump up charges on the targeted individual. We gonna exploit rules and regulations and even when it's our fault, and we kind of manufacture it so we can charge an additional woo woo woo, and then we'll alter the ledger because technically they didn't have to be, and then we'll put that money that that person paid over there onto this person as, you know, for a favor. I know about people playing with books, honey. I know about that. And see, that's what people don't see about me. I know about that. In my bloodline, I have some of the most professional criminals on the earth. Okay? And they're the ones that are behind targeting me. They're the ones that are working with the ones. You see that? I know all about it, baby. So y'all out there, you know, stay woke, stay safe, be observant, but not too hyper focused, because you want to live your life, you want to be present, you want to focus on all these beautiful things, right? But a part of your observation and all the official claims and reports that you'll be, you know, submitting is, you know, this is going to help you in order to do this in a more effective way, because the more thorough you can be, the more information that you can actually present, the more that is going to help, you know, their investigations, right? And I do believe, you know, the higher ups that are not corrupt, you know, they know this better than I do. They know that, you know, there's always a scapegoat used to take the hit or a fall for a greater, bigger issue, you know what I'm saying, that's really behind the scene. Okay, that happened to me as a young woman. Okay, so I know all too well about, you know, people making deals and doing all sorts of stuff so that they can get away with their grotesque criminality. Okay, think about that.